Now, what exactly were you getting at?
It was more of putting myself in danger of beating the drum of something that I didn't know I was beating. Because you say we all have these set vibrational patterns. If I'm listening to a music that is not as high as, say, Esther's, am I beating a drum that's bringing something back to me that I don't necessarily want?
We wouldn't look at it as detrimental in the sense that a short listen would have any devastating effect on you, but we would care about the mood that music produces, and we would want to move from love and appreciation to exhilaration. In other words, we would reach for that high standard in all things. We would reach for it in the movies that we watch and in the people that we have conversations with, in the books that we read. We would reach for it in everything. We'd spend no time objectively examining the earth for content. We would vibrationally set a tone and ask that the content that matches our tone be given to us. That's what you said when you came forth. You did not say, I'll come into this physical environment and I'll just take what's around. And you did not say, I will objectively observe everything so that I will be a really fair and balanced person. You said, I'll come into the environment and I'll feel my way through it. And I'll reach for the highest frequencies that I can find. And I will. Don't you find that often with music, that something will ring your bells for a while and then it doesn't ring quite so much as you sort of settle into it? And that's not because the music is not wonderful, and it's not because it's not productive for someone. But what it does mean is it's not up to speed with the new place that you have now reached to, you see. Music is, well, it would be right to say it about everything, but we want to especially say it about music. It is a living, breathing, expanding entity, much like yourself. And it would be a really easy way for you to co-create with the artists of the world, just by saying, I know who I am and I know what I'm reaching for, and universe, please bring me the next step and the next step and the next step and the next step. So now, this is important. Let's contemplate this. Some of you are feeling a little confused by this conversation, so we want to bring it around to something that is really meaningful for you. Do you think that what we're saying is find a piece of music and use it to bring your vibration up? Or are we saying identify what your vibration is and expect that music to prove it, to acknowledge it, to amplify it? In other words, we would use music and everything else that is coming to us as our evidence of our current vibrational frequency, which means, and this is what all this rambling is leading to, you got to constantly be on the move for something more. It's why nothing stays number one on the charts for very long. That's why the albums that you play don't please you decade after decade. It's why it's always the new that you're reaching for. So what it is evidence of your point of attraction. So can you hear the reverse of what this conversation seemed to start out as? It seems to say, should I look for music in order to set my tone? And we're saying, no, set your tone and let the music help you acknowledge where your tone is. Let the feeling that is amplified with the music help you to understand where your tone is. Yeah. The reason that we're stubbornly milking this conversation beyond your interest is because you're in the process of figuring out what you're doing vibrationally. And it really is the point of the question that you are putting to us. We think that there is no better way for you to acknowledge the vibration of your being than to let it reflect back to you through something obvious like the vibration of music. Everything is vibrating, but the things that come to you through sound and the way the sound moves you. Esther has nice vehicles, and in every one of them, the first thing she wants to know is how to turn the bass up on the stereo system, because she wants that rhythm of that music to change the rhythm of her being. And we say it's different than she thinks it is. She wants it to match the rhythm. She wants that centered, central place to be there, and then she wants all of the other liveliness to dive in around it, you see. You're vibrational beings, and music will let you understand what your vibration is faster than anything else. And music will lead you to the emotional nature of your being faster than anything else. It will help you know. You'll feel yourself musically faster than almost anything else. And it's because it gives you a strong point of focus. And usually you'll stay there long enough that you'll be moved or you won't. And we'd like to say one more thing. We think there are far too many love gone bad songs in this world. And far too many I can't get it right songs in this world. And far too many poor me songs in this world. And if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would teach the music industry what kind of music you really want, you see. Enough?
I did have one other question, only in that my niece, who's 3, who doesn't know I like to run on the treadmill, stopped me the last time she was in town and said she told me that she had infinite love in my heart for me so that I could run faster. So I was wondering how her connection to Source works when she's not around me. And she can tell me something like that. I didn't know a 3-year-old had a concept of the word infinite or what it entailed.
Well, the most important thing that conversation helps you to understand is that no one has to be with you in order to have a glimpse of you, because Source always has a glimpse of you. So anyone who has the ability to get a glimpse of the glimpse that Source has of you then has access to everything that you are about. So it's logical that someone who is that age and that pure and that aligned and that tuned in would get a glimpse of you through Source, isn't it? In other words, do you really think you're hiding out there? You really think that Source is not aware of you? And you really think that they're not messengers that are bringing that to you? In other words, in exactly the same way that the bird carried the message to Esther on the balcony, your little niece is carrying the message of Source to you. It's a message that you all want to carry to others. And it's a message that music often carries as well, isn't it? Don't you feel wrapped up around it? Good conversation. You'll get it later.